Aggie softball is absolutely rolling right now, winning 5 of 6 of its conference series, and we are going to sit down with Texag's beat reporter Idani Cantu to talk about this very specific great softball team right now.
I mean, starting in the beginning, the first game, they were shut out 2-0, but there did seem to be a little bit of struggle. But coming into the next 2 games, there was a lot of errors made on Alabama's side, and A&M just took advantage of that. I mean, as any team should. I think it's really nice that A&M is able to kind of overcome that and notice when the other team is weak and kind of bounce on top of that. But yeah, I mean, during the games, there was a 3-run homer from Kennedy Powell. It was her first of the season. Beginning of the season, it was really Enright with her batting, and now it's Kramer Eschete, it's Jasmine Hill. I mean, of course, lefty, but with Kramer, she's been putting out not only in batting, but in her fielding as well. And she's just been showing a lot of effort throughout the season. I don't believe she started in the beginning of season and then threw her in there. She's been doing well over time, getting better. With Jasmine Hill, with her accolade of being SEC Player of the Week, of course, lefty with 134 Ks so far. I mean, that's ridiculous because Levitt and Shea are amazing pitchers as well, but they have 50 Ks, 30 Ks compared to 134. That's amazing. Having that 5-run 6th inning in the 3rd game with Ayanna Coleman and Amari Harper with 2 RBIs. I think that really helped out, especially, I mean, in game 2, going 17-6 is kind of crazy. I mean,
specifically stood out to you?
Definitely Trinity Cannon. This past weekend, she had a walk-off grand slam. That's not something you see every day. Rylan Wiggins, also yesterday against Sam Houston State. Surprisingly enough, Rylan Wiggins and Trinity Cannon yesterday hit a home run, both at 226 feet and both towards the scoreboard. So that was kind of interesting to watch. 100%, I think Emily Kennedy, she's definitely out there. I mean, she's been shining through and through. I believe this past weekend, she had 11 strikeouts in 1 game and a total of 23. I know right now she's ranked 12th nationally for most strikeouts. I believe she's at 35. And Emily Levitt also is coming in, having 8 strikeouts this past tournament. I think it's really good to have multiple pitchers out there. And I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, this is Ford's 2nd year. And I feel like usually in the beginning of a new coaching year, you're kind of like, okay, well, like, we're going to see what happens. We'll see what happens after the first year, and then we'll go off of there. I think the girls have done amazing. I think even in the non-conference games in the beginning of the season, they kind of showed what they're preparing for coming into conference, and they showed that they're a powerhouse team. I mean, every single girl has something that they can put forward and they kind of bring to the table. Even after a loss, like their sweep by LSU, they bounced back, and I mean, they won the series against Alabama, and that just shows that, you know, what's past is past, and they're just leaving that behind them and constantly working towards success. She was walked about 8 times on Sunday in total, so, you know, coming from someone who's a designated player, you know, she has those strong hits. You know, she's also able to stay patient and say, okay, you know what, like, for this part, I'm going to have to take a walk for my team if that's what I have to do. I believe it was in game 2, almost all of the girls came out. And it kind of just shows, like, hey, if you're not doing good, no worries, you got another one there to back you up. And so on and so forth. I believe Kennedy made an appearance in every game. And it's just able to show that they work off of each other. They're like, hey, like, if you're not able to get it, no worries, I'll come in. And they all have their own specialty pitch. And I was a little bit confused as to, what is this? What's going on? Yes, what's the strategy? Ford was talking about how she's just trying new things up, maybe trying to possibly throw off the other team with kind of how she threw me off, how I viewed it. And I honestly think that's a pretty good tactic to use, and she's been telling the pitchers that this is something that she might be planning to do in the future. So I guess it's more of a, let's practice, let's see if we can throw off the girls. And Ford was explaining how she didn't really feel like her girls were playing Aggie softball. And when Wiggins was talking about Aggie softball, it's playing the same no matter what team you're playing against. So Trish can kind of tell a little bit of a difference between, oh, they're playing against Oregon versus playing against UTSA. There might be a little bit, maybe feeling like they don't have to push as hard, and playing Aggie softball means that you're doing the same thing no matter what team, no matter who it is.